Heyo, I'm ROB.GREEN and welcome to the second installment of the Young Creative Songwriting Sessions. These videos are designed to get you started writing lyrics and challenging yourself as a songwriter. They're applicable to all ability levels and you don't have to be able to play an instrument to get involved. Every video will have musical examples for you to check out for inspiration, and I'll also give you simple acoustic instrumentals to work with so you can focus your writing on the lyrics and the melodies and not so much the production side of the sound, which can come later. So, let's get started. For this task, you're going to be writing a verse to describe and explore a specific moment in your life. Maybe it was a difficult conversation you had to have with someone, or a summer that you particularly enjoyed. The focus of this session is about exploring how we can build a picture of our lives in the mind of somebody who wasn't actually there. The skills covered in the session will allow you to condense an entire year into a single verse, or stretch all the thoughts you had in a split second over 3.5 minutes. When we describe in music, we're trying to share an experience we had with the listener. A basic description will tell you what happened, but a great description will make you feel what happened. There are 3 easy ways to start improving the way that we describe something in music. The first is incorporating the senses. Second, creating snapshots, which I'll explain in a minute, and using English comprehension skills like metaphor and simile. For each of these 3 approaches, I've picked a reference track to demonstrate it, which you can use for inspiration when you're writing your own verse. So, let's take a look at the first technique, using the senses. Sight, sound, touch, smell, and taste are all senses that we use to build up a picture of our environment day to day. However, when we're describing in music, we often focus on just what we see and hear. But each sense has a very different power over the listener, so we shouldn't neglect them when we're writing. The sense of smell, for example, is very nostalgic. It's one of the reasons people insist on having real Christmas trees. It can conjure old feelings and transport you to a different place and time instantly. The same can be said for taste, but unlike smell, what we taste and touch are incredibly personal to us and can't be felt by anyone else around. So when we reference these senses in our music, we can help the listener personally connect to how the situation felt as if it's happening to them, especially when we pair them up with our other writing skills. Have a listen to how Sarah Bareilles explores the senses in her song, Saint Honesty. We're collecting evidence of one remarkable storm, how wild it was to find it, to finally feel the climate instead of always staying dry and warm. She's using the sensation of rain, the sound and the feel of humidity in the air to create an intimacy and a sense of freedom from restraint. Skill number 2 is about using snapshots. A single picture can sum up an entire story. A single object or action can tell us so much about a situation without us having to describe every little thing that happened. Ed Sheeran's Castle on the Hill is an excellent example of snapshot songwriting. In each section, he picks a different year of his childhood and uses select snapshots to communicate the sentiment of the memory. For example, the sweet perfume of the mountain grass I rolled down, and driving down a country lane singing to Tiny Dancer. These short, simple snapshots spark our imagination and invite us to fill the gaps with our own memories. Technique number 3 is about using classic English comprehension skills. Now, sometimes it's easy to neglect the basics, but they can be very powerful in writing. To demonstrate this, I picked The Best of Times by spoken word poet Sage Francis. He uses basic skills very effectively in this piece, like when he says, "steamed open a couple envelopes like I was in private detective mode." He's using simile, where we describe something by likening it to something else. His line, "the television set went from being a babysitter to a mistress," is a metaphor, where we describe something by saying it quite literally is something else. He also uses oxymoron a lot, where we put 2 opposing descriptors together. These can be actual opposites, like when he says it was heaven, it was hell, or sharply contrasting, like it was beautiful, it was brutal, or it was cruel, it was business as usual. When it's used well, it can create a sense of unease or disconnection for the listener, which Sage uses to help us feel how awkward high school was for him. Check out these 3 tracks and listen to how they use these 3 skills to inspire you when you're writing your own verse. Okay, so let's get onto the music. The 4 chords I'm giving you to play with are A minor, F, C, and G. I'm using E major 7 as a passing chord, This minor chord progression gives us a more reflective feel and it's perfect for image building. I actually used it to create one of my own songs, which is called Blue. When I wrote it, I wanted to explore a specific moment in time, and so I used colour as a metaphor to paint the picture of the scene, and it goes like this. Drink a poison pitch black and it spins the room. Wanted to feel unattached, now I feel marooned. Red sky October, white cliffs hung over, and it's coming on something strong. My mouth starts running long before the purple haze is gone. And you say, oh, I'm so yellow, why can't I be brave? And you let go, 'cause I let go, nobody takes the blame. The one thing keeping my hope alive is the same thing that tells me we won't survive. The colors all fade as we divide, it's true. Now all that's left is blue. Blue, now all that's left is blue. So that's it. As I said last time, be free, welcome the good and bad rhymes, and have fun with it. Happy writing, and I'll see you for the next session. Bye.